Please don't make this mistake when paying for your suppliers. I have 3 ways to pay your suppliers broken down right here. Each of them have their benefits. One is very dangerous. Just watch for these methods so you know exactly what to do when you are getting ready to ship your product to the Amazon warehouse. Let's go. Hello, it's me, Karina. Welcome back to my Amazon FBA channel where I post daily videos. Today's video is going to be about how to safely pay your supplier. So you found your first product and now you negotiated the lowest price and you're ready to place your order. But many of you come to the concern of how to actually pay your supplier and how to do it safely, because there has been some instances where, for example, the inventory doesn't come out so great and you don't want the inventory, or your supplier is a scammer. This is very, very rare and I have never had that happen to me, and I haven't heard of too many occurrences, but I have had some people say that they have had a bad relationship with the supplier and they wanted their money back, but unfortunately they didn't pay them safely. So I'm here to talk about the 3 ways that you can actually pay your supplier to make sure that you are 100% protected and you're getting the best inventory, and if something does go wrong, you have a way of getting it back, getting your money back, or reordering your inventory in a way that suits you. And the most important thing about this video as well is that all these 3 ways have their benefits, and there are ways that are better than another, and what I'm going to show you is the best way. And plus, if you stick around till some point of this video, I'm going to let you know how you can get a free template that I am personally using when I'm negotiating with suppliers to make sure that they arrange for the best payment methods, as well as literally include everything in the order that you're supposed to have when you're ordering your first shipment. So if you want that template, and it's very, very valuable because I have spent hundreds of times talking to different factories to really know what to say, then stick around and I'm going to at some point share what to do and how to get that template, and it's going to be very, very easy and very beneficial to you. And even if you are not negotiating with suppliers now, I encourage you to take all these free tools that I'm giving you just for the future, so you store them and then you can use them whenever you want, because I'm trying to make this journey as easy as possible. So let's get into the payment methods. And before that, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, then click the link or the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on, because I post daily videos and I'm going to save you a lot of money if you keep watching. So how to safely pay your suppliers? There are 3 ways. So the very, very common way is PayPal. So what you do is they send you a PayPal email and you pay them via PayPal. This is very simple. This is very safe. And the benefits of this is that you are protected on 2 fronts. So you're protected by PayPal, which you pay a protection fee as well. You are selecting a payment for business goods and services when you do that, and if you do that, they give you a protection. There is a small fee for that, but it's well worth it. And then the second layer of protection you have is through your actual credit card, because if you're paying through PayPal, you should make sure to link your credit card, so then if something goes wrong and if the PayPal dispute fails, if you ever do try to negotiate or make a chargeback, you can always go back to your credit card and say, hey, you know, the PayPal didn't work. Well, don't tell them that the PayPal didn't work, but just go directly to your credit card, and then you can negotiate to get your money back on there. So you have 2 layers of protection. If you're paying through PayPal, you have a 4.5% fee on top of your order. So let's do some calculation. Let's say your order is $3,000, including everything that you're paying to your supplier, and you are getting charged that is $135 for extra on top of your $3,000 payment. So the fee is not too high, but that's just the fee. The international fee is 4.5%. So PayPal is good in the way that it gives you double protection. So that is one way you should do it. And the second way to do it is through trade assurance. Now that is kind of almost like an escrow account on Alibaba. It's almost like the international PayPal, I would say, but just through Alibaba. So they have the same thing. They hold your money and then the supplier doesn't get it until something goes on in their system. So it's kind of in the middle account until everything is safe. And the fee in that is much lower. It's 2.95%. It's not significantly lower, I guess, but over the time it adds up. So the good thing about that is that you are still protected through trade assurance and also through your credit card. But more people just feel safer through PayPal. I have used both PayPal and trade assurance before. I have not had any issues. Recently, I have been preferring trade assurance because I've really noticed how it adds up. So let's do that same $3,000 order and do the 2.95%. So that's $88. So the other one was $135. So you're saving about $46. And that's just on your first order. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but think of it in long term, it's going to add up. So if you're placing orders and for years and years, that can add up to being like $1,000, especially if you're placing larger orders over an amount of time. That could be quite expensive, and not necessarily too expensive, but it's just money you want to save and invest into somewhere else. So when you trust the supplier, if you feel more safe paying with PayPal, then do that for the first order, but then maybe try to switch over to trade assurance because the rates are cheaper. Now there is a third payment method that basically has no fee, no matter how large the amount is, and it seems tempting. However, I strongly advise against this method unless you know the supplier very, very well. But even then, I don't really see the benefit of this. So the good thing with the first two methods is that you also get points for your credit card. So I always use a credit card when making purchases, when running pay-per-click, running anything, because I get points back on those credit cards, and certain credit cards give back more points. So that is how I'm able to accumulate a lot of points, because this is an expense that's ongoing and it has to be done, because obviously to run a business you need inventory. So I see no point in not getting points for those transactions. The third way, this is just interesting because even though the fee is lower, you don't get points and you're putting yourself at risk, and that is the wire transfer. Now the fee for that is very, very low. It's about $25, and it seems great because you could, let's say you place a $5,000 order, and instead of paying like over $200 in fees, you only pay $25. But if you don't know the supplier, you are not safe, you're not protected, because once a wire, and that's also commonly known as TT, once that gets through, you're not getting it back. So that's kind of dangerous. And then the second thing is you're just not getting points. And why would you not want to get points when you can use those for really cool things, really free things, and you're building a relationship with your credit card as well. So those are the three ways. I know some people that, you know, do really, really big transactions and they want to avoid all the fees, and essentially you can't really fully avoid all the fees unless you're doing a wire transfer, because there are like processing fees and fees that, you know, Alibaba or PayPal likes to take just for their profits. So it's really hard to get it to zero, not impossible, unless you literally do a wire transfer. But if you do that, then you're at risk, because you can't make a chargeback to your credit card. You can't really argue with anyone. There's no third party involved. So what you're going to end up doing is that your money is just gone. So if you are literally talking to a supplier for the very first time, make sure not to do the wire transfer. And I always encourage just to do trade assurance or PayPal, because you do get those points and you also get you know, the ability to be safe. So that's kind of how it goes. And then in terms of how the payment is broken down, the usual thing, how it goes, is that a supplier will tell you to pay 30% upfront and then 70% once the goods are complete. So the reason for that is the 30% is kind of to let them know as a placeholder that you are serious about the offer, that they're not going to just manufacture all these units and then you're going to say no. So 30% is large enough for them to feel comfortable starting the production and for you to be committed enough to want to pay the rest, 70%. Now, the reason they want you to pay the 70% later is, of course, for your protection in case they completely mess up on the goods and it's not something that you wanted. And in that case, that's where the inspections come in. You can get an inspection, or again, pictures. You can have your supplier send you photos, videos of the products to make sure that they're up to your standard, just to make sure everything is good. Sometimes some suppliers do ask for 50-50%, which means that they want you to pay 50% upfront and 50% later, and that's nothing unusual. So if they ask for 50-50, don't be alarmed. However, if it's a large order and they're asking for 100%, I would just choose to go with a different supplier, because that's too risky for me. I have had a few suppliers ask me for 100% money down, but that has only been because it was a very small MOQ test order and it wasn't even a big deal, even if the money was lost. I mean, I was still paying through the safe methods. I was paying through PayPal, so I knew I would be protected. But it was just a small order, so I didn't really care. But usually 50-50 or 30-70 is very, very standard. Now, what I mentioned about the templates and how to ask for this breakdown and exactly what to tell them about the payment methods and what they offer, I do have a free template that's only for my Amazon FBA program students, where I teach the Amazon FBA model A through Z. If you're interested in that, the link will be down below. But I have that template exclusively for them, but I decided to share it with you as well. So if you want that template on how to ask suppliers for the order breakdown to make sure that they're putting everything on the product that needs to be placed there, so it avoids any dangerous situations that may come up during shipping, and how to also make sure that you're paying through PayPal or trade assurance, then all you have to do, it's very simple. You can just click the link down below. It'll bring you to a page, and then you can just download it off of there. I will send it to you via email in an instant, and you'll have it right there. So you can use it if you are negotiating now and talking to suppliers, or if you are doing it later down the road. But I highly encourage you to download this because it will be very beneficial to you. So thank you so much for watching. All my links are down below, and I'll see you in my next video.